Hi guys, Roberto Ralbas, head instructor of Team Third Law, and today we're here to talk about a little bit about our kids program, and teams program. One of the things that differentiates Third Law from most martial arts schools in the nation and in the world is the fact that we teach every single age level all the way to adult. The program is pretty unique in the fact that we start kids all the way at the age of 3. Sometimes when we do an evaluation and the kid is like 2 years and 8 months, we accelerate the progress depending on the capacity evaluation. We start at the age of 3, we go all the way to 5 and 6. From 6, then we have that's our little ninjas, tiny ninjas program. Then we have our little ninjas program, which goes from ages 7 all the way to 10. Then we have our juniors, which goes from ages 10 to 13. Then we have our teens program, which goes from ages 13 and through all the way to 17. Even some 18-year-olds, we still give them in the program to give them more benefits. And not only that, we've been teaching kids for over 4 years now, and it has been an amazing experience. I have seen the rest of the program with an incredible amount of growth. We have back-to-back classes and multiple of the levels, and it's a magical thing. But what I'm here today to talk about is the fact that one of the benefits that we have gotten ourselves as instructors is the fact that we have gotten a really good education on child development, child psychology, and how to teach children. Okay, one very important thing that most teachers overlook, and is the fact that it's actually spoken in a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, that a little bit of difference of 6 months in a child, it makes such a big difference in the way you have to teach them. Understand? I'll give you a quick example. And say it's actually there's some research that shows that when your child is born, right, you have a newborn, that you actually don't want them crying too much. That is actually more beneficial for the child to not cry too much when they're like you want to respond to their crying real quick. Why? Because that's their only form of communicating. So what happens is sometimes the parent is with the child and they're trying to keep her from crying. Oh my baby, don't cry, in the arms. Then the child becomes 1 year old. Okay, you're still there. Then he's 2 years old. Then it's 2.5 years old, and then we start getting into the 3.5, 4 years old. And at this point, if you encourage the child to keep on crying, this is actually detrimental to the child. Teaching them to use crying as a form of communication for getting what they want. It's very important from 3.5 and up. Even 3, to start teaching the behavior that crying is not tolerated, crying is not allowed, and we only cry for, it's only excusable on the death of a beloved person in our family and very big circumstances, but not for tiny little things. And let him cry and let him sit there and apply this discipline, because he'll pay his way down the line. The same way we see parents sometimes they're helping their kids tie their shoes, even at the age of 5 and 6. At that age, they need to understand that they need to put on their own shoes. They need to start using this as an opportunity to teach them responsibility and so forth. Now, where there's a difference? Let's say he was 3.5. Well, 3.5 right now might not be. It might take too much effort to teach him how to tie his shoes. Excuse me. But a 6.5 and above, they need to have this responsibility. They need to be responsible in notebooks and so forth. That being said, sometimes in our kids, we have kids from the ages of 6 and 10. Just as an example, you cannot discipline a 10-year-old the same way you discipline a 6-year-old. Okay? You cannot overwhelm the kid with the different level, because the brain has not developed enough to follow the same directions of a 10-year-old. Same thing, the group of techniques have to be taught differently. Your expectations need to go according to this. And I always will say that 6 months makes a huge difference in the earlier years, especially from 3 to 5, 3 to 6, it makes a huge difference. After that, we start about a year makes a big difference. The teens, okay, once you start getting into the teens program, once you get into the juniors, the 10, start adding heavy discipline. Make sure you start enforcing, okay? You don't be afraid to get in their face, and you have to make sure that you stick to the plan. There should not be any compromising just to get away with something. Your word is your word. You're the boss of the house. You bring the food, you pay the bills. Your job is to be a good son, good daughter, go to school, get good grades. I always tell them there's nothing else but A+. I always recommend teaching your child from a very young age that the only expectation that you can achieve, the minimal expectation of what is expected of them to get a grade is an A+, nothing less. Why? Because the truth is, like we said in an earlier video, if you put a child in a good environment and you start having them use their time productively, any child can become super smart, super intelligent, where even older peers and friends start calling them, oh, they're like a genius. It's not a genius, it's you put them at an early age and you start teaching them how to read, to do extra work like reading, to doing a little bit extra math, doing puzzles. You might teach them how to play chess. Do some great activities to children from a very young age that eventually develops more cognitive skills that lend them to others believe that they are smart. Of course, when a teacher thinks that you're smart, you know what? The teacher keeps using you as an example, which builds confidence. The point being is, it's very important to understand the difference of their ages and how to teach correctly. Teaching is an art that requires mastery. It's not just about moves. And here at Team Turlock, we take a lot of pride in it. Okay, we really want to see my whole dream. One of my dreams in the future. Right now, we've been 4 years into the program. I would love to see some of my students go to Ivy League schools and do amazing things, and see that there's a correlation of how we were able to impact the child's life and get great testimonies from you. You know, I love martial arts. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's been a passion, you know, of mine. Teaching is also, kids is also a big passion of mine. And because I do believe that the most important thing of a martial arts program is to develop people. Okay, that's the #1 goal. Is personal development. And what better way to start personal development than with children? You know, so check us out at headstartinlife.com, or also if you're interested in our adults program, teamturlock.com, or give us a call today at 239-628-3529, 239-628-3529, so you can find out about a 30-day free trial and how we can help your child get a head start in life.